My name is Tom Feeney and I'm chairman of Blackrock Business Network. The worries businesses had, the first one, of course, is fear of change. The two main fears were one was parking, the other was deliveries. What is very evident is that the coffee shops are doing wonderful business. People now come, they sit outside the coffee shops and then they go from the coffee shops to the shops across the road. So the fashion shops, the interior decor shops, the bookshops are all doing good business, and it's all because there are more people on the street. The street is more animated. Not so much a surprise, but a pleasant surprise is the fact that Blackrock has become a destination village. People come along the necklace of towns, they come along the CMR, the coastal mobility route, all the way from Sandy Cove right into Blackrock village. And even further afield, Blackrock has now earned the reputation of being a lovely place to sit out, enjoy a coffee, sit, chat and socialise.
I am Emma. I am the manager of Hatch Blackrock behind me. I've been part of the business for 4 or 5 years. Love Blackrock. We moved here 2 years ago. The concerns I had about the enhancements, it was definitely the parking, but I think with the cycling route and the benches, and it's making it a lot more friendly for people to sit outside and enjoy the beautiful surroundings. There's always going to be an issue with parking. Doesn't matter what village you're in. But I think for local residents and local businesses, it's definitely nicer to be able to walk down and there's a bit of a buzz, there's a bit of things happening out on the street. I think the new route has definitely made local residents walk to their village instead of driving down for a quick, shop or a quick coffee. I think for us, it's definitely really important to get to know our community, get to know families, their dogs, their babies, and that's what we had in Costal. And I think over the last 2 years with COVID, and then also it actually been easier to walk down and cycle down than to drive and park, that you have people spending time here rather than a quick trip.
My name is Jim Kenny and we own the centre shop here since '97, but I'm actually living in Blackrock since '82. We're well known as a local shop and local people. The initial concerns were the loss of traffic, I suppose, into the village and people not be able to come and park and grab something from me on their way home. That would be my initial concerns. But at the time, I was still in favour of the proposal. The biggest advantages within the village would be probably atmosphere. It's got a real community feel to it. Before the actual development, I would see people come into my shop and go out the door, and 10 seconds later I could follow them out that door and I will not see them. But now I could go out an hour later and they'll be there sitting in the bench, and it could be up the street, down the street. So it's very much atmosphere, togetherness, good community spirit. I use the mobility route every day, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day, either coming to work or with my grandchildren.
So my name is Bob. I'm the owner of the Triggerfish Cook Shop here in Blackrock. It's a kitchenware shop selling cookware, kitchenware and tableware. So when we first heard about it, a lot of people in the village were concerned about parking and just general war on motorists that people talked about. They loved complaining, and then as the year went on, especially with delivery drivers and so on, they were concerned that the road had become too narrow and there weren't enough loading bays. But as the year went on, the complaints just stopped and people started to pour in, be it tourists, people from around Ireland, people from around the world really, and Blackrock became a bit of a destination. So all those complaints just quickly dissipated and went away, and the improvements have been vast and everybody's happy, I think. I suppose the biggest one has been tourists. When I opened the shop 5 years ago, we had a lot of locals, a lot of businesses and people who worked in the businesses around here. Obviously the pandemic came along and changed things, but now there's been a marked difference in people visiting Blackrock. They come from Dun Laoghaire and they use the coastal route, and you especially see it at the weekends with all the bikes around. They come here for coffee. It's a place, it's a scene, and it's more sort of sporting people meeting friends for coffee. Perhaps they're working from home and they want to get down to the village during the day, so they just stroll down, and it's become a much more vibrant place. Even the plants and the trees and so on, it's cleaned up its act and it's looking nicer and busier.
My name is Danny and this is the cycle hub where I work. The biggest change I've seen is people who haven't cycled in a long time are coming in looking for bikes because the mobility route is right here now. And they're looking to get back into cycling because of convenience. And we have noticed a big increase in families looking for carriers to be put on their bikes or to have their cargo bikes serviced, simply because it's now safer and the mobility route is more segregated. and safer to use.